Now this is what I call a build. It's fast, it's fun, it's strong, and it makes a cool sound. It's of course the amazing Overpower Flurry build, probably one of the most requested builds on the channel, and it's finally here. So let's break down how it works and what you need to make it work. So how does it work then? Well shit, massive shout out to the likes of Sanctum for doing the heavy lifting here and coming up with the interactions making the build a possibility. For starters, we have the overpower part. We are going to overpower all of our flurry casts via the Banished Lord's Talisman. To do this, we need to spend 275 resource, and we can then blow shit up with an overpower. Just spamming out flurries, however, to spend all of that resource would take a fucking eternity. So how is that solved? Well damn, via the Beastfall boots, of course. Every time we use an ultimate, our next core skill, in this build flurry, will spend all of our energy at once. So as long as we have 275 resources stacked up, then we can spend it all and get one of those lovely orange-colored overpowers. But then, a new problem arises. How the hell do we turn our ultimate into a spammable ability? Because we need that shit solved to spam the Beastfall boots. That's no problem, we solve it via a buttload of cooldown reduction and preparation. This thing resets your ultimate by 10 seconds as a maximum at once. So that's what we'll be aiming to get the cooldown reduction down on the ultimate. If we succeed, then the ultimate will become spammable. I'll show you how to do this, but first let's check out the skills here. Dash is easy, that's a bunch of mobility, and cold imbuement equals big damn. But what about concealment? There's a reason for that as well, or well, several reasons, and those are, it grants your next skill a free crit, it ogles on vulnerable, and it dishes out a bunch of additional damage via our new legendary node for the season. Just lovely. Next skill we have is Caltrops. Everyone fucking hates Caltrops, so I'm only asking you to use it on bosses to instantly kill them in one stagger. For the rest of the game, it's only used for pushing the pit. So it's mainly just on the bars looking pretty. For our final skill, we have Flurry. The combination of spending all your resources via Beastfall works with all core skills. So why are we using Flurry in particular? Shit, son. Due to momentum, of course. This grants us 30% additional max energy, and this is required to get to that yummy 275 energy for us to overpower each time. Without it, we're screwed. This in turn means that you must use a cutthroat skill, and seeing that all cutthroat skills except Flurry is absolute trash, that's what we're going for. When it comes to the playstyle, it's a bit like playing a lovely classic on the piano. So turn off the screaming Sasha Grey gangbang on the second monitor, slap on some Chopin, and get to work. Because it's all about that 2-3 Flurry death trap combo, baby. Alright friends, that's a bit of the basics. Let's check out the gear and aspects so you know what you'll be going for and what are the requirements. Because there are a few requirements indeed, which can be rough if you're just raw, dogging the build. But there are a few workarounds that we'll cover. First off, you need a Shaco. There's not really any way to ditch this. You must get the cooldown reduction as to get your death trap down to a 10-second cooldown. You also want the GA to be on either cooldown reduction or max resource, as these two are the rough breakpoints we need to solve. And of course masterwork that shit on the cooldown reduction. If you don't reach the breakpoints, then it's not the end of the world. You can still game, but your damage will suffer, and big damn equals big dick. Do as you please with that information. Next we have a lovely chest. The Shroud of False Death is just bonkers, seeing as Rogue has the best passives in the game, and this boosts all of them. It's then time for a pair of gloves. And not just any gloves, we want the Titty Feisters. We don't have a lot of crowd control in this build apart from cold imbuement, meaning It's slow as fuck to stagger. These solves that problem though, and make sure that we can nuke bosses down quickly by staggering them. Try to find one with GA on the crowd control here, and you'll see the stagger bar fly by in a nanosecond. Next, you want the Tybalt's Will. This is due to 3 reasons: Big Damn, and Big Damn. But there are an additional 2 reasons too, and that is the max resource, which we are in desperate need of, and the energy regen. Because, if you're a clever man or woman, you probably thought to yourself, hey, we need to get all of that resource back somehow, and that is indeed correct. To do this, we have Tybalt's Will in combination with gaining Unstoppable from Concealment. You'll gain more energy from this than what is in the tooltip, as you also have resource generation from both your gear, paragons, and your key passive. Combine all of this with Aftermath, and you should have your energy regen solved no problemo. Next up, we have the Beastfall Boots again. This is your final way of obtaining resources. I'm currently sitting on like 4 gold caps, but despite that, I'm rocking these piece of shits. Why is that? Well, damn, because you're a dogshit newbie, and so I want to make sure the build is playable without spending 300 billion gold. So in case you're on a budget, you want a GA on the ultimate cooldown reduction ideally, and masterwork that shit. The same goes for the other items. Always masterwork cooldown reduction and max resource until you reach the breakpoints. When it comes to the weapons, you first want to max out the flurry deals twice to 100%. After that, we have a lovely temper called Cutthroat Attack Speed. This becomes your next priority, and you want to get it everywhere you can. It's insane. For the aspect, start slapping on all the flurry aspects and use Stolen Vigor on the two-hander for maximum damage. Now here are 2 interesting big brain moves. First off is tempering poison damage, so we can utilize the poison bonuses in the skill tree. The other big brain move is using the Coombringer. And why is that? Well, damn, due to how Overpower is calculated. The additive Overpower damage you see in the damage tab is completely wrong, and you're actually getting thousands upon thousands of additive damage from max life. So you'll want as much as possible, and you're doubling its value by getting fortified as well, which you'll do via the Mercenaries. And max life also has the added benefit of making you an immortal god, which is nice. This is also why I'm choosing to masterwork the max life here, which in turn also allows me to use this necklace on my cringe-born character. But masterworking the core skills should still be the most valuable. For the rings, we first have the Starless for Big Hecking Damn. This is, however, where you can solve any max energy or cooldown reduction that you may be lacking. And how do we do that? Well, damn, for starters, we can temper trap cooldown reduction, so you can slap on an additional 20 to 30 cooldown reduction right there. And if you're lacking max energy, then you can use the galvanized slashes aspect for that, but it's a substantial damage loss, so preferably not. An even better way of helping you out with the max energy is using Elixir of Resourcefulness. This is how I currently do it, as I can just keep one of these bad boys on at all times. Will you look at that? Gear and aspects complete. Let's see what the hell we're rocking in the Mercenary department. Rahir is our fucking guy. This is because he grants us Fortify and an additional damage multiplier here. For reinforcement, I'm using the Cannibal baddie as to knock enemies down. Using this, we can get the damage bonus from Malice, which is absolutely lovely. And specialization? Preparation, of course. God damn it, man. Or woman. It's already skill tree a fucking clock, so let's do it. But before we continue, the Crimson Market wants a word and show off their amazing PCs. And this time, they've actually outdone themselves with the cringe-born Diamond PC. Just check this thing out. I think that we can all agree that this PC is completely fucking bonkers. You can win this for free just by grabbing a golden ticket. They do these giveaways each month, and the last time there was a Starforge PC up for grabs. And in case you're looking for one to buy, then that's the place to get one for sure. Thanks to the Crimson Market for being an awesome gang of kangaroo fuckers. Heading back to the skill tree. All basic skills sucks massive donkey balls. No thanks. Instead, we go for Flurry, Enhanced Flurry, and Advanced for the massive damage boost. Siphoning Strikes is a lovely heal, and then we head on over to grab Dash to become fast as fuckboy with 3 charges. All of these passives are mad bonkers for sure. Unstable Elixirs forces you to chug a potion every 10 seconds, and due to Balustra, you typically want to evade every now and then. I'm also rocking Caltrops here. Don't want it? No problem. Go for Poison Trap or Smoke Grenade instead. But it's insane on bosses, as you only need to drop one down, and the damage bonus will align perfectly with your staggers. Going down here in the skill tree, we have our lovely subterfuge skills. Concealment grants us free crits, unstoppable and vulnerable, while at the same time boosting our damage further via the Paragons and granting us energy. After grabbing all of these lovely passives, we have Cold Imbuement for big hecking dam, and of course Frigid Finesse for, yep, even more big mother effing dam. In the ultimate skills, we want to max out Death Trap as to reduce its cooldown, and we also have our Second Wind, making us an immortal god, and Aftermath, which is how we restore resources. And finally, the key passive. Momentum is just fucking bonkers for the damage and aspects it provides us with, but it's also necessary to gain the maximum energy. And that, my friends, is the skill tree. Nice, huh? Damn right. Now drop a fucking sub, will ya? And we'll check out the Paragons. Here we go for Big Dam and Max Life, and the first glyph we want is Headhunter, and we can with ease dump all of our spare Paragon nodes here. And next we go for No Witness, which should be capped with a few Diamond Gem in the weapons in combination with the Fluidity glyph. This also buffs your energy regeneration even further, making it even easier to get all of it back. Next we go for Cheap Shot and Socket Control. In the Deadly Ambush board, we want the legendary node, of course, along with the cooldown reduction and socketing canny for massive damage. And finally, Dance Macabre. The non-brain-dead boomers will remember that we previously mentioned that we use this in combination with Concealment, and we in turn receive a massive damage bonus. We also want to socket Devious here, as it's the only goddamn glyph that doesn't suck ass that we got left LOL. Well shit, Paragon's complete. And just in time, because it's indeed time to get heckin' good, and you know it, baby. As you should know by now, unless you skipped most of the video, of course, in that case, fuck you, that you have Dash for mobility and Caltrops is only used on bosses and when pushing. For the rest of the combo, you pop Cold Imbuement and Concealment, followed by using Flurry. You then reset your cooldowns via Death Trap, and you repeat Cold Imbuement, Concealment, Flurry, Death Trap. Easy as that. As you're also resetting your dash each time, you can use that to gap close the next pack of enemies. When it comes to the bossing, I typically just put down one of the Caltrops and time the damage bonus with the Stagger. It's online for 7 seconds and boosts the damage the longer it's up with a max of 45%, and if it's about to run out, you can just drop a new one on top of it. You then blow the boss up and go for the next run of pits for roughly 3,000 times, and you may end up at Paragon 300. It's that easy. And that, my friends, is all for this one. Sub, become a Paragaming member, give me all your money, lick my massive ballsack, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching the video, my fellow divorced boomer gamers. Subscribe to Paragon right now, or I will drop kick your ball sack into the pavement. Yeah, fuck 'em. Watch this video as well, and like and share it right freaking now. Oh yeah, my titties are dead and leaking, so I milked up, or UTF.